Okay, it is now 5:30, and I'm going to call into order the Election Commission meeting for October 12th, 2021. First item is roll call and attendance. So Chairwoman Zaniku? Here. Vice Chairman Pope? Here. Commissioner Anthus? Here. Commissioner Patton? Okay, so all commissioners are present. Moving on to old business, vote to accept the meeting minutes from the prior meeting. So attached or enclosed is the meeting minutes prepared by Mark and I for September 28th, 2021. Oh, I think Vice Chair Pope was first. So motion from Vice Chair to accept. So if we have a motion to accept the meeting minutes from Pope, do we have a second? Okay, second from Commissioner Anthus. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Moving on to new business. On
old business, in the minutes, you were going to contact LHS regarding their availability for a meeting with the commission.
Yes.
Report to us on that?
Yeah, I did reach out to LHS Associates. They indicated that, unfortunately, they were unavailable tonight. So I did extend the invitation again. Unfortunately, they unfortunately were unavailable. So.
Well, given that they're the vendor, I think we ought to give them an invitation. We ought to give them a directive. You know, this is not a social event. They're our vendor and getting paid by us. They ought to be willing to meet with us if we ask them to. And we said we would meet any day. So I find this a little strange, is all.
Yeah. Any further discussion on old business? Or? Yeah, I'll reach out again to LHS Associates. I'll, just note that, again, they're a private company, and we're also in the election season. But again, I will reach out to them again to inquire about their availability at the next meeting.
Well, we've been asking them for several months now, so reach out to them with an iron fist.
All right. Okay, moving on to new business. Item A is communication on election commissioners' absentee early voting ballot delivery routes to polling locations during November 2nd, 2021 municipal election. So just like in previous years, the way we would sort of divvy these up is that each commissioner would be given a route, and then they deliver absentee and early voting ballots to the locations on election day for processing. Now, obviously, with the preliminary, we only had 5 locations, so there wasn't really, I think, a point to have assigned routes. But for the municipal election, because we're going to have 11 locations, I thought it'd be appropriate again to set up routes. So this communication I prepared is the chart that I've always used in previous elections, sort of setting up, as we call it, as I like to call it, zones. And each commissioner would be given a route so that if they need to deliver anything, such as absentee or early voting ballots, or if they need to deliver new ballots or things like that, they know what the route is. And I've set up the route so that they're as geographically close as possible. So it'll make travel easier for the commissioners when they have to go from polling location to location. So for Zone 1, it's going to be all the polling locations on the north side of the river, which is Pawtucket, McAvenue, Robinson. So that covers districts 1 and 2, so I call that Zone 1. Zone 2 is going to be on sort of the east side of Lowell, so that's going to be Riley and Butler, so Zone 2. Zone 3 is going to be more in sort of the center of Lowell, so that's Lowell High, Senior Center, Rogers. And finally, the last zone is going to be that area in sort of southwestern Lowell, so that's Lowell Collegiate, Daly, and Morey. So again, I sort of set them up that way to make it as easy as possible for the commissioners. I open up to the commissioners if there's a particular route you'd like to do. It's up to you. Yeah. Yes, Commissioner Pope.
3.
Okay, so you'd like Zone 3? Okay. All right, so Commissioner Pope's going to take Zone 3. Yep, Bev?
O'Reilly and Butler.
Okay, so Commissioner Anthony is going to take Zone 2. Okay, so Commissioner Patton's going to take Zone 4. And Chairwoman, are you okay with Zone 1?
Yes,
Okay, great.
We only have 3 degrees of freedom.
Okay, all right, that sounds great. So again, it'll be, I think, the same setup as in previous elections, so just bring your vehicle in. If need be, we'll load you up in the morning, and we'll just take it from there, so. On to item B, which is update on Disability Commission initiative to acquire AccuVote tables and privacy screens for November 2nd, 2021 municipal election and future elections. So Beth with the Disability Commission, she reached out to me late last week. The Disability Commission, as you know, has been seeking out arrangements to purchase AccuVote privacy screens and tables for the upcoming November election. The funding that the Disability Commission has, Beth informed me late last week that they were able to secure the funding, but when they reached out to ES&S to purchase the tables, they found out that unfortunately their supplies ran out for the November election. So unfortunately, according to Beth, we'll likely not be able to get the tables from the Disability Commission in time for November. But she did indicate that after the November election, the disability is going to continue to reach out, and hopefully after the November election, they'll be able to purchase these tables and screens so that in future elections, we'll be able to use them. But I know I mentioned this previously to the Election Commission, so I wanted to give you an update as soon as I got it last week. Beth did indicate, though, that, again, the Disability Commission is going to hire the services of an ALS translator for our early voting. So one day, just like in the preliminary, the ALS translator will be there to help those that request it. So, so that's good. But unfortunately, there just wasn't enough supplies.
ALS or ASL?
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant ASL. No, you're right, American Sign Language. I apologize. So that's on item B. And finally, on item C, so I wanted to inform the commissioners that the city manager's office is again going to be sending out a mailing to all voters in the city of Lowell, advertising the upcoming municipal election. And it's going to be, again, a guide flyer as to what the election is. It's going to have discussion on the ballot question. And compared to the preliminary mailer, this one has been modified, so it's going to have an extra large map on one side of it. Because one of the critiques that that the city manager's office heard from the preliminary election was that the map that was provided in the flyer was a bit small. So unfortunately, some voters that either are hard of sight or they just couldn't make it out. So this new flyer that the manager's office is going to send out to all voters is going to be extra large, so that voters will be able to make it out, including the districts and school committee races and things like that. So, and that should be going out within the week. So I just. Yes, so for those districts that weren't involved in preliminary, we will be sending out postcards to those voters about their new polling location. In fact, we just got the final mailing list that we need to double check and prove. So we're reviewing that. Once that's done, those will be going out. Additionally, I'm going to be working on some, again, just like in previous elections, some videos that will go out in social media advertising the upcoming election in November. And the city is also going to recirculate some videos that we prepared for the preliminary election, which also apply to the November election. So if you go to Your Lowell, Your Vote, you'll see a video of me sort of presenting the new election system. That's going to be circulated again. And we also prepared a video on how to fill out your vote by mail or absentee ballot and return it back. The steps you need to take, pitfalls to avoid that could lead to your ballot being rejected and things like that. So once that is prepared, well, actually, no, it's already been prepared. We're just going to recirculate it so that voters are familiar with it. So,
My other question is, so
is the last day to register? How is that communicated?
Yeah, so we will be, I'm going to reach out to the manager's office. We're going to try to send out a sort of a missive out to the public, and we're going to be putting signs up as well at City Hall. And we've already set up the elections office and the doors so that they don't auto-lark at night. So we're going to keep them open until 8 o'clock tomorrow. And again, it's also been indicated on the calendar to voters and things like that. So, and since this is also a public event, we can inform all voters that are watching that, again, tomorrow at 8 o'clock is the last day in which people can register to vote for the upcoming election on November 2nd.
Was
So.
the Lowell Sun utilized at all in order to communicate the elections calendar?
I believe the city manager's office did send important dates out to the Lowell Sun. I don't know if the Lowell Sun posted them, but generally speaking, I believe they have been pretty communicative about important dates and things like that.
The full page ad in Sunday's paper,
Yeah,
giving all the districts, inclusion in the district.
yeah. I know the Lowell Sun has been doing postings with elections information, things like that. I know we have provided the Lowell Sun with important dates and things like that. So,
Lowell Votes has been putting stuff in the Sun, too.
yes,
I don't know what we do about it, but I've gotten feedback from, one person who's a field manager for one of the candidates, trying to get people registered and explaining the things they get in the mail, and people don't know. They think that this thing they got in the mail to apply for a ballot is how they vote, and you say the video's going out, but that the application is already out there.
yes.
So people may get it and not know what it is and toss it, or, again, I don't have any real good suggestions for getting through to people, because having been in academia, I know a lot of people you never get through to. But it just seems there's a high level of ignorance about just exactly how you apply for a mail ballot or an absentee ballot, and what you do when you get it. Some of them said, 2 envelopes, why 2 envelopes? I put it in the envelope and send it in. I say, well, it's going to get thrown out.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that. So we may, after this election, we may have to try to gather some information from people and sit down and try to figure out how we can structure so people understand better how to do the process.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always an iterative process, finding ways in which we can improve voter outreach. That's one of the reasons why, this year and last year we started doing videos and things like that. And the applications that have been mailed out to voters have been trilingual, so they're in Spanish and Khmer as well, with instructions on how to fill it out and send it back to City Hall. So, but yes, it's always sort of an iterative process as to how we can improve voter outreach. And it's something we'll definitely look at, as we always do after every election, to see where we can improve.
You have videos, people have to watch them. And you put it in the Sun, people have to read the Sun. And a lot of people don't,
Yeah.
either one. So, we need to come up with some new ideas how to reach out to people, or maybe even get the candidates involved. I mean, they're out there, most of them every day, talking to people. Say, here's some talking points about the election. Let people know, because they're providing volunteer labor. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what to do about it. So I think it's something we have to address.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at ways we can improve it. So that's pretty much it for new agendas. Sort of preparations have been moving forward, so.
Okay. So do we want to, the following Tuesday, October 26th is when we're going to,
Test the machine.
October 26th in the morning, I believe,
All right.
yep.
Do we want to have another meeting that day, or should we just wait until election day? Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay,
Yeah, so
we'll just wait till after the election?
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. What we could do is we could schedule it for the Tuesday after the election day.
Okay.
Is that fine? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. If that, okay, a motion to adjourn from Commissioner Pope. Do we have a second?
Yes, I'll second
Okay.
For a vote.
Second from Commissioner Anthus. Any discussion?
Seconder.
All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned at 5:45 PM.